How's it going, guys? Nerd Person Shooter here. So, I just got done playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I played it extensively for like 70 hours or so. I did every main mission and side mission and investigation. And I gotta tell you something. I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. There. And there's a reason for that. It's because I suck at Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter Wilds is a little bit different from the previous ones. It is a much more streamlined game. It is just not only more accessible, but also just easier. Either that, or maybe I should have played Monster Hunter World this whole time with dual blades, because I remember complaining about how slow and clunky the combat was in Monster Hunter World. I used like a bow gun for that game, and I didn't really try to use any other weapon because I started out with like a sword and shield, and I thought it was too slow for melee combat, so I decided to go the range route. But I went with dual blades this time in Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's a lot faster. Your strikes aren't, as powerful as like heavy weapons, but still being able to move that fast and being able to evade a lot faster was a lot more manageable for me. So maybe I don't suck at Monster Hunter. Maybe I just am good at dual blades. Either way, it still feels a little bit easier in Monster Hunter Wilds. Monsters don't take half an hour to kill. Most of the time they only take you like 10 minutes or 15 at the very most. Which is funny because the time limit for quest lines are still like 50 minutes when they don't really need to be anymore. They made monsters a little less tough, not as grindy to fight per se. There's also more focus on story. This was definitely the most story-driven Monster Hunter game, and the story itself I thought was pretty good. No real complaints. There's a little boy that you rescue from a village that gets attacked by this really new, never seen monster before. It looks like a machine almost, like a construct. And his story is basically the central part of the game, and his character is like the heart and soul of the game story. I really like this character a lot, and I just enjoyed having that extra motivation. The story was good. Now, a lot of people, a lot of veterans at least, didn't like this Monster Hunter because it was more streamlined, it was more accessible. And I've never been part of that group who wants to downplay a game just because it's more accessible. Like I'm pro accessibility, okay? Whatever helps make a game easier to play for other people is a good thing. Now, that's not to say that Monster Hunter Wilds is like really easy. Towards the end, some of the post-game content, which there isn't a lot of post-game content, I will admit. Monster Hunter World had way more content in the end game. There's not really much to do after you beat the story and do some side missions in Monster Hunter Wilds. I just did a lot of farming, just playing with other people and doing, joining games and stuff. And I managed to get quite a few gold and miniature crowns, and those are a lot easier to get in Monster Hunter Wilds as well. You have binoculars that you can use to examine a monster and determine whether it has a miniature or gold crown, so you don't need to like fight every single monster until you get the crown for that respective monster. So it's a lot less grindy. And how can that be a bad thing? That's a good thing. Like, it makes it so that you don't waste your time. So, people could argue that, oh, it doesn't take 500 hours anymore to get all the crowns. I'm like, good. Who has that much fucking time on their hands to play one game? Like, that's insane. You could probably get the platinum trophy in Monster Hunter Wilds in like the 100-hour mark, you know? I will say that the main quest line was a little too easy, even for me. So maybe it is a little too easy at certain points in the game, but I wasn't really complaining. I still played co-op with a lot of people, not always because I needed help. Sometimes, a lot of times I didn't need help, but because I do genuinely enjoy the co-op in Monster Hunter. That was how I got through Monster Hunter World, was playing co-op with other people and having them carry me, which wasn't the case here. Actually, on the contrary, there are some quests where I felt like I was carrying them. I was the one who wasn't fainting during combat. So, I felt better playing Monster Hunter Wilds than I ever did playing Monster Hunter World. I think in terms of gameplay, Wilds is just better. It's more fluid. It's it runs at a faster pace. You know what I mean? You progress a lot faster in Wilds than you do in World or probably even Rise. Another really good accessibility tool I like is the ability to have support AI hunters aid you when you fire SOS flares. It's not just for real players anymore. Like if you're playing offline or if you don't have PS Plus or Xbox Live Gold, you can still fire a flare and depending on your settings, you can set it to support hunters only. You can send it to both support hunter AI and players or just players only, you know. You can set it to whatever you want. So if you don't have an online subscription or you're playing offline, you can still have assistance from AI players to kind of like take the heat off you a little bit, so it gives you more opportunity to strike the monster. So that's great. Like that's awesome. I think the monster variety is pretty good. There's a few monsters that look like squids, like giant squids, giant octopuses and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. There's a few, dragon-looking monsters. There's like a dinosaur-looking monster that was also in World, and it had a good variety, good world variety. It has a desert, a forest, kind of like a hot volcano. It's got an icy mountain, it's got like a little bit of everything, and that's cool too. I really like. I love the locales. I didn't really have any technical issues, really. A lot of people have been and still complain that the game has a lot of technical issues. I didn't really encounter anything specifically bad that happened like more than once. Like, there were a couple times during online co-op where I was lagging a bit, freezing a little bit, but that's probably just on my end because I have crappy internet. There was one time where my sacred, which is like kind of like your horse, but it's more like a giant chicken, it wouldn't move. And I would like hop on it. Usually, it would actually automatically run towards your destination or your whatever target you have marked on your map. It will like automatically, run towards that location, which is something that I don't like. Which, by the way, I don't like that. I don't like the game playing for me, which now that I think about it, looking back, some of the story had a lot of like walking simulator feel to it where you're kind of like on the rails following someone while talking to them, that sort of thing. Didn't really mesh well with the rest of the game. But yeah, there was this one time where my sacred just wouldn't move, and I went in the options to kind of like I don't remember what it was I changed, but I changed something and it started moving again. So I don't know what that was all about. There was also one time, actually during that same time, my map wouldn't zoom in and out. It would be like stuck really zoomed in. So I had to change something on the map menu and do something in the options there. So I don't know what the hell happened during that instance of gameplay. It was bugging out that time, but every other moment of my 70 to 72 hour playtime, I didn't encounter any bugs or crashes, not one crash at all, so I don't know, maybe I just got lucky, but based on my experience, it's a pretty solid game. My final score for Monster Hunter Wilds would be an 8 out of 10. I think it's great. I mean, yeah, maybe in terms of content, it's one of the weaker ones, or maybe even the weakest of the three modern Monster Hunter games, but I didn't really mind that, because Monster Hunter was never really my thing up until now, where you just grind and grind and grind. And here, it's like they kind of got rid of the grind, that they made it a more compact, kind of like a more condensed experience, and I liked it a lot. Do I think it's Game of the Year material? No, but doesn't need to be. So, yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on Monster Hunter Wilds. If you didn't enjoy it, then I'm sorry. But, there's always Monster Hunter World to go back to, Iceborne. I tried Iceborne one time. That shit is so hard. That's too hard for me. I tried Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch once, and I didn't really like it either. I actually did buy it again on the PS5, so and you know what? When I will go back, and I will go back to like Monster Hunter World and Rise to see if I like it more with the dual blades, the really fast kind of, attacks. My opinion on the whole franchise might change, and I might end up becoming a big Monster Hunter fan, Monster Hunter series fan. So, yeah. Coming up next on my channel, I have a couple ideas. I want to play through Lies of P on easy mode. I don't know how easy it's gonna be though, and so I might not have a death montage for you guys, so I'm kind of risking it in terms of content on my channel. But Borderlands 4 comes out. It actually is out today, and I still have at least a couple more weeks of PS Plus left. So maybe if I don't mind shelling out $70. I suppose it's not a big deal now that I have a job again. Did I ever tell you guys that? I got a new job. I actually got hired at Walmart on July 30th, and I'm finally getting more and more hours in, so I'm getting more money. So hopefully maybe that'll mean you'll see a little bit more videos, maybe a little bit more reviews. Who knows? But I can't guarantee it. So yeah. Anyway, guys, until next time, thank you very much for watching.